So the US has a new president. We have the market stats that have been released for October 2024, and there's rumors around a potential 50-point rate cut to take place during December. What a week it's been, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about. So we're going to get into the data, and I'm going to share with you some of my predictions moving forward. If you are considering buying or selling, make sure to call me. And if you're a real estate agent looking to increase your business, make sure to reach out to me to learn more about eXp Realty. And let's get into the market stats. But we're going to take a look at this chart here where we're looking at a monthly breakdown of the really important numbers, including sales, active listings, months of inventory, average price, and days on market. And it feels like forever since I've said this, but the market is actually improving for sellers, or it's at least moving in the right direction, whereas it wasn't before. And that's indicated by a couple of things. Our average price is up slightly. We can see it's up year over year. October 2023, our average price was 1.12. Now it's reported at 1.14. And the number of sales is up quite significantly, around 6,600, whereas the previous months have only been 4,000 to 5,000. So we have the highest number of sales that we've experienced since May. As a matter of fact, there have only been 2 months where the number of sales has been higher during this year. That's during the months of April and the months of May. But looking at this next chart, we can see the number of sales represented by the blue line, as well as the number of active listings that's represented by the yellow line. So we can see the blue is abnormally high, you can say. And for us to have a market that's more favorable for sellers, we would need the number of active listings to come down and the number of sales to increase, because that's pretty much what was experienced during the years of 2021 and early 2022. But we can see just how low the number of sales was during October 2023, only about 4,600. So it looks like a lot of those buyers that we knew were on the sidelines during the summer months and during the early fall, that were waiting for the rates to come down, have finally entered the marketplace. They're looking at properties and they're making offers. And we are actually seeing that on our listings. There's slightly more activity, but I wouldn't say that the average price is up or up just yet. I think that we're going to have to most likely wait until the springtime for our average price to increase, which I would expect by then the average price to be up 5 to 7% from now. But we've all been waiting for the market to bounce back to some extent, and now we're finally seeing some positive headlines saying that it's doing just that. One headline reads that the Toronto real estate prices roll back to 2021 levels. Another article reads that GTA home sales jump in October after Bank of Canada rate cuts. And I want to remind you, the average price really hasn't changed too much within the past few years. It seems more so that people had expected the prices to increase and they didn't. And the reason for the negative headlines has mostly been because of the excess inventory that's on the market. Like over 20,000 listings in the GTA was basically unheard of before, and the number of days on market wasn't as high as it is right now. So our average days on market, that hasn't changed despite the positive headlines. We're still around 27 days on market. But looking at this line at the bottom, we can see MOI, which represents months of inventory. This is really important because it tells us the absorption rate, like of all the listings that are for sale, how many of them are selling and how many of them would need to sell in order for the inventory to be saturated. And this number was only 3.68 during the month of October, which is very surprising given that September there was over 5 months of inventory for sale. And this tells us that we could be shifting more from a buyer's market towards a balanced market. And if it keeps moving in that direction, then we'll ultimately be in a seller's market like most of us have been used to. And if you're a buyer in the marketplace, this is a really important metric to keep your eye on, because if the months of inventory would continue to drop and it goes below 3, then it's far more likely that you'd be in bidding war situations where you look at properties, you like them, but you have to frantically make an offer and sometimes even offer higher than what you're comfortable with. But taking a look at the average price and how it's changed comparing October 2023 to October 2024, we can see detached homes are up by 1.2%, now selling around 1.46 million. Semi-detached homes, they've increased in value as well by 0.7%, now selling around 1.1. Although this is surprising that despite semis being up, townhouses are actually down 1.1%, now selling at $920,000. And similarly, condo apartments are down by 2%, now selling at $694,000. But now taking a look at the 5-year historical average price, we can see that the major price increase took place between 2020 to 2021, when prices peaked around 1.156 million. Then between October 2021 and October 2022 is when the interest rate increases started to take place, and we can see how it impacted our average price. The average price dropped then to $1,088,000, and then we've seen a stable increase up to $1.123 million in 2023 and $1.135 October 2024. Now, real estate has always been somewhat cyclical here in the Greater Toronto area, with the number of sales pretty much decreasing during the months of November and December. So we're definitely in for some interesting times. Let's not forget that during the end of the year, a lot of listings actually come off the market because sellers, of course, want to enjoy their holiday. They may not want to show their property during the winter season when it's cold and when it could be snowy. So if the demand continues to increase like it has done over the past month, and at the same time the number of supply drops, and then to top all that off, we have another significant rate cut take place in December, then we could be in store for an early spring market, and that's when the average price increases earlier than we would expect. Like typically we would expect the average price to increase during the months of March and April, but it may just happen in late January or early February. Of course, one of the more exciting things about real estate is that there are so many factors, especially when it's a big city like Toronto. It's not only the demand, the supply, the interest rates, but it's also the economy overall. It's about unemployment. It's about trade across the border. But just how significant will the results of the US election be on Toronto real estate and Canadian real estate? Let's hear what one of the experts has to say.
It's extremely significant. There's so many bilateral issues that are important to us. The trading relationship, we know that a significant trade agreement is up for renewal in 2026. Prime Minister Trudeau had a difficult time last go-around negotiating with Donald Trump, and there's so many other issues. Environmental cooperation, the safety and security of multilateral institutions.
What are your thoughts and predictions about our real estate market here in the Greater Toronto area? I'd love to see your feedback in the comment section below. If you are considering buying or selling, make sure to call me. And if you're a real estate agent looking to increase your business, whether you're a new agent that needs mentorship and resources, or you're an experienced agent that's intrigued by EXP's stock program and the opportunity to earn referral bonuses from other agents, make sure to reach out to me to learn more. I'm very active on Instagram. If you want to stay connected on a daily basis, then make sure to connect with me there, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.